everybody!
I'm Savannah.
I'm Preston.
And I'm Sydney, and today we're going to show you how to conduct to prepare you for your drum major audition. Alright, so we're going to start off with the most basic conducting pattern, which is 4/4, and you'll probably use this one the most often. Before we begin conducting, we're going to start off with some basic tips to help you know what you need to do. So something very important for each pattern is called your ictus. Now your ictus is where your hands lie and they hit this point every time you hit the downbeat. Where you want it to be is different for everyone because everyone is a different height. Now what you can do is line it up with what's called your xiphoid process, which is the part right between your ribs. So you line up your fingers here and then just flatten it out like a table, and that's where your ictus should be. You need to make sure this place stays the same the whole time, that way the band doesn't get confused where the beat is. Now you don't want your elbows to be too far in like this, and you don't want to be like this. You want to be right in the middle at a comfortable place. And this way you don't want to be too tight in, and you don't want to be out. In a comfortable wide stance with your shoulders up. Some exercises we should work on are starting off with your fingers. To start off, you just start moving your fingers like this for a little bit. And then add in your wrists and your fingers. And you can do these exercises with the Met at a slower tempo or a higher tempo as you get more advanced. Now you bring in the elbows, and the elbows are just the elbows, not the shoulder, just the elbow. And then you bring in the shoulder, so you start lifting your shoulder up and down. You don't want to be like this or like this, just nice and steady. Make a balance. For 4/4, this is what the pattern basically looks like. You're gonna go down, 2, 3, 4 for dry. Whenever you have a tempo that is under 140 beats per minute, your pattern is going to look like this. Just like that. So now I'm going to show you what a 4/4 at a regular conducting pattern looks like. So as you can see, I'm not going up too high in the middle, or I'm not going up too high on the outside like this. It's just all very relative to each other. And you want the downbeat to be the highest. So the downbeat is a lot higher than the rest of the beats. Okay, now dry is a pattern that you use with all of these different conducting patterns whenever the tempo gets above 140 beats per minute. Dry is kind of what it sounds like. Everything is a lot more still and a lot more precise. That's because you don't have as much time to worry about getting from place to place. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what a dry 4/4 pattern looks like. So you notice that my arms aren't bouncing at all, and it's all very still and sharp.
Hi guys. Okay, so the next pattern is 3/4. This image is your right hand. So from the back view, you make a J. 1, 2, 3. And keep in mind that I'm still thinking about my ictus and making sure all the beats appear on the same plane. After you conduct for a long time, your hands, your pinkies start to go out. So to make sure that your pinkies stay in, cup your hands around your cheeks and go back to the same position that Cindy was talking about. You can also put hair ties around your fingers to make sure your pinkies don't fly out. For the 3 pattern, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is still the regular pattern. So from the side view, just think about a J. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And really make sure that whenever you go out for your 3, that your arms are going out wide enough. So I'll conduct this to a metronome. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like Simi said, for the dry, classified as 140 and above, so we're gonna go at 140. And whenever you do this pattern, because whenever you go faster, you have to minimize your movement. So it means it needs to be smaller and more concise, less of a bounce. So it's gonna be a triangle. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And your hands will also go closer on this pattern, but make sure to keep your elbows and everything else still, not too wide, not too close. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. The faster you go, you need to be smaller, so don't go 1, 2, 3, because it defeats the purpose. But clarity is always key.
Okay, so with the one that's under 140 for 2-4, you kind of just want to keep a slow bounce. So how it's going to go is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you see that your hands might be going out a little more, but you kind of just want to keep it pretty simple. Out, up, out, up, out, out. When you're above 140, when it's drier, you're just going to keep it just going up and down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. When you conduct, you want to keep your hands like steady. The two things you don't want to do, I'll go extremes, but you don't want to like show your palms. This is a no-no. This is nice, but you also don't want to be kitty cat. Be petting a little cat. So know this, but know this. Just you can kind of, you want to have a bounce to your fingers, but you don't want to like just go extreme and like slap.
So for your drum major audition, there are going to be two parts, an inside portion and an outside portion. Now the inside portion is where you're going to be applying all these conducting things that we just explained to you. What you're going to be doing inside is you're going to be conducting and teaching a chorale to a live ensemble. You will get a score, looks something like this. You have all the parts that are going to be played, and your job is to guide the band through the chorale while showing proper conducting technique, and you have 5 minutes to do so. The next thing you're going to do is conduct to a recording, and this recording will be sent out to you before your actual audition, so you have time to practice, and you should plan out how you want to do things, what things you want to bring in, what things you want to decrescendo, things like that. The final thing you're going to have to do is you'll be given a time signature and a tempo, and you're going to have to conduct to that as they tell you to do so.
There are also some things that are pretty specific with the recording, like if you want to do crescendos or decrescendos, all that stuff. Just so y'all know, if you want help, I'm here, Savannah and Sydney are here. Just come talk to us and we'll give you specifics on what you may want to do and try to help you do that.
Some tips and tricks for making sure that you have a good audition rather. Whenever you're teaching your chorale, I advise you to maybe bring a piece of notepaper in with what you plan to do. Stick to your plan. Even if someone else has a good idea, do what you've planned out. Search it up on YouTube. Find a recording of it. And keep in mind that if you are one of the first people to go, that this is the first time that the volunteer ensemble will be reading this piece, but if you're one of the last people, they're already going to know the notes. Just keep that in mind. Whenever you're conducting to a recording, find the recording and use it. So the different tempos, just practice in front of the mirror, practice a little bit every day, and even turn off the Met sometimes and check your tempos.
We hope these tips and tricks help
You
in your
audition.
If you have any questions, ask us.
Woo! Go get